My name's Charlie. I'm the co-founder and chief design officer of Flipgrid. Flipgrid is social learning for pre-K to PhD students and educators everywhere. The platform is very simple. It works on any device, and essentially students share their ideas via short videos. They build a community of these voices in their classroom, and it's all controlled by the teacher. Today we have 60,000 educators that use Flipgrid. We just passed actually 3 million students. I got to update the slides. And we're in 137 countries on all 7 continents. We've had researchers in Antarctica use it to connect with students around the globe asynchronously. So it's very simple. You build your grid. This takes about 20 seconds. This is your class, your PLC, or your learning community. After that, you add topics. Topics can have various stimuli from YouTube to Vimeo. You can record videos, text, and links for your kids. And ultimately, it's very similar to Snapchat and Instagram in terms of creation and consumption. We don't have puking rainbows, but you can stitch together amazing little movies. You can flip the camera, use your flashlight, be very creative with it. And the heart of Flipgrid comes when everyone engages and everyone can reply to that discussion. So it really is an entire social media network just for that class. The grid cards can be embedded anywhere, in any website or LMS. You can embed it, or you can just type a Flipgrid link, and our technology will pop the grid inside that LMS. If the teacher chooses, they can share them on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and then we embed pretty much anywhere that'll take a link, an iframe, or an integration. We also have some very simple formative feedback. A lot of teachers will assess these videos inside the LMS, but we've kind of simplified it down to presentation and ideas. The kid has good organization ideas, and they are an eloquent speaker, or they're a very controlled speaker. So we've kind of simplified that. Every video within about 4 seconds is transcribed by IBM Watson, and then we take that and run an analysis on it and generate the keywords that the kids discussed. So at the grid level, you can literally select on sustainability in whales and just see those students that talked about that in their videos. And ultimately, we've built global grid connections where teachers can post a grid, post a purpose, identify a grade, and connect with classrooms around the world. And we have several thousand of these going on every day. Jim's going to tell you a little bit about our traction. Top Gun high five? Not going to work.
I think a lot of GIP schools use this, like in a one-off schools.
A lot of fun right now. We started off the year with about 30,000 educators. We now have 31,000 that have joined us just since January. It's about an incremental another 100 or 1.5 million students, and we have a teacher joining us every 5.7 minutes. So what does that adoption look like? We were really excited in the fall of this year when we were running at 450% growth year over year, and then the logjam just broke. And we're now running at about 1,500, actually this slide is also dated, about 1,500% growth year over year. We added 435,000 students in the month of April. We actually thought April would be a slowdown because we're getting towards the end of the year. Certainly May is going to be a slowdown. We're running 49% ahead of April right now so far in May. So the adoption is absolutely crazy. Our students in this year, so since January 1, have shared 350 million seconds of video with each other. That's the equivalent of 11.2 years of dialogue and discussion between students. And that has resulted from a new video being recorded by a student every 1.2 seconds. So over 3.2 million videos shared by our student community in the month of April. So we literally have 50 to 60,000 examples of how Flipgrid is being used. I'm going to go through each one of them now. So hang tight, here we go. So I'm going to give you an example of how Flipgrid is used in the classroom and outside of the classroom. So in the classroom, we just got done with World Read Aloud. It was a program that actually was national or international in scope. But this is one example where a teacher created this discussion of favorite books with students that was intended for his class. His class ended up suggesting that he open it up to the world. Over 500 students responded to that call to action in 1 hour of that grid being opened up publicly. In the community, we have teachers using this for PLCs, as Charlie mentioned. One of our favorite examples is actually KQED Do Now. KQED is the PBS affiliate in the San Francisco Bay Area. They really want to engage students in discussions around their broadcast media. And so they create topics on Flipgrid that correspond to the topics that they're discussing in their broadcast, and students then respond. And it's a way for the students to not pollute their Twitter feeds with political commentary, or to really be engaged with each other. These are students that are not at the same school. They are all over the Bay Area, and KQED is building a community among those students. and we're being used around the globe. If you're at all into birds or raptors, right now on Flipgrid, if you go to flipgrid.com/raptors, you can be a part of a dialogue around raptors. So we have the Raptor Center that's hosting this grid. The grid's been live for 10 days, and we are, I think, north of like 26,000 students that have been a part of this community in just that 10-day period. On a global level, we're really excited to announce that we have been selected by UNESCO and UNICEF to be a part of the video dialogue around the world's largest lesson. This is an initiative that is mandated by 58 educational ministers, and they are using Flipgrid as a way to engage students on topics of sustainability, gender rights, and other key topics that they think are really important to be explored by students across the globe. And then last Tuesday, you may be aware that Microsoft announced that they announced their new suite of capabilities both in Windows 10s and devices for education. We were a part of that New York announcement. We were one of 3 key integrations with Microsoft Teams for the classroom. So we're very excited about what we're doing with Microsoft in the education space, and we have literally just begun. So that's a quick introduction to Flipgrid. If we've captured your interests at all, I'd ask you to do one thing. If you go to Twitter and search for @Flipgrid, or even better, go to our teachers hashtag, which is #FlipgridFever. We would not have created it. It sounds like something you need penicillin for, but actually, Flipgrid Fever is how teachers are sharing every minute of every day how they're using our platform. Thanks for your time, and appreciate the opportunity to be here with you.